From the names that we know that are out there, with some suggesting where the Leafs need help, if you were one of the scouts, the recommendation would be first and foremost someone to play with Tavares on the second unit on the blue line. What are your thoughts about what Kyle Dubas is thinking right now?
Honestly, I think they have to address the back end as a priority. I know last night was a nice night between the pipes, and they got some saves. But having said that, I think that we still have to look at beefing up some depth on the back end, and there's some veteran guys out there that might come in at a price tag that works with their salary cap situation, and actually one younger name out of San Jose that I think would be a good target as well.
Sorry, is there a specific name out of San Jose you like?
I like Jacob Middleton, guys.
You do? Okay.
He's 26 years old. He's come on this year. He's a full-time NHL player now. He's been playing with Carlson and Burns. True shutdown, simple, two-way D, big, heavy, strong. This is a guy that can complement some of those guys on the back end that are more conventional, puck movers / puck rushers. The one thing with them is that at $725, his AAV makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering if San Jose would be leaning towards re-signing him. One of the other things, Kyper, you might be more familiar with this, but he's one of those Group 6 potential free agents, guys that have played less than 80 games at the NHL level who become UFAs at the end of the year. If he goes over 80 games, he's an RFA. So there's a little bit of strategy involved in acquiring the player, because I think that's a body you want to keep long term.
Is this someone that San Jose feels like if there's enough takers, we could potentially get a second round pick? Like, how expensive would he be?
Well, word on the street is that's exactly what it's going to take, at least a second round pick and potentially a prospect as well. And as we all know, if we're looking at this year's draft, the Leafs' currency in terms of picks is pretty limited. So I don't know if that's what they want to do this year, but let's be honest, they got to be all in, I think, right now with the group they have, and they'll worry about the draft later. So I think it's going to take a second round pick and potentially a prospect as well.
It's interesting looking at the Leafs D situation, because they've played the third pair, I would say not a conventional third pair of Sandin and Liljegren, or Dermott and Liljegren, or whatever the combination is of those three names, Sandin, Liljegren, and Dermott, which has been unusual. What do you make of the development path of a guy like Timothy Liljegren? He's been given a great opportunity and is a source of much different opinion, I would say, in Leafs Nation. Where are you on what he is and can be, and what the Leafs need this season there?
And be positive, unlike JB's analysis of Liljegren.
I wish I could be more positive. Unfortunately, can't be extremely positive. His trajectory has been slow to arrive. When he was a prospect, we were looking at a player that could potentially come in as a transitional type of defender, might not put up a ton of offense, but could transport the puck, jump into the rushes an extra layer. But the big concern of the whole time was how smart he would be implementing his style at the NHL level. When you're looking at him being on your bottom pairing come playoff time, and you're matching up, especially on the road, because it looks like they're going to have a road series to start, you're going to be matched up against some pretty heavyweight players up front in Tampa, Carolina, maybe Florida. I think that they have to upgrade that slot. I don't think he fits that type of slot come playoff time. I think they'll be looking for something more than that.
Jason, I want to ask in terms of Nick Robertson and 16, 18 months ago, almost an untouchable prospect for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is he their number one chip to dangle out there? And where has the drop-off been for Nick, in your opinion?
Well, player that I think we all know the background. This dude had to work for absolutely everything in his entire hockey career. He was born premature. He's on the small side. He's endured injuries at every level he's played at. I watched him, especially last night, a little bit. I like his explosiveness of space. I think it's better now. His offensive upside is definitely his element. He's their best chip, guys, in terms of, I think, value out there. Other teams will value him more than others in their roster pool, their prospect pool, pardon me. So he's definitely one of those guys that could project to be in a top 9 for another team, play on your first or second power play unit. I'm just not sure he's an elite top 6, and that might hold some teams back depending on what they're sending the other way.